the Styrian Grand Prix qualified. Oh my God, how amazing was that? Welcome back to Peter on Pole. Fresh trim, no hat, no hair. We are back. It's the Styrian Grand Prix. Oh, there are lots to talk about. Let's get into it. First of all, I just want to say this. Every Formula One driver is world class. World class. If you saw the conditions today and how wet it was at the Styrian Grand Prix in qualifying, my goodness, the amount of rain there was, and yet these drivers were pulling out lap times that were out of this bloody world. Unbelievable! Lewis Hamilton on pole for the start of the Styrian Grand Prix today, whenever you're watching this video, and my God, he put the drive of his life. Lewis Hamilton did a 1:19 in the wet conditions, absolutely flying. He was 1.2 seconds ahead of the next driver in second, which was Max Verstappen, another fast driver and all. Do you know what 1.2 seconds is on a Formula One track? You might think it's nothing right now, but my goodness, how fast it was. It's unbelievable. I can't calm down. What a qualifying session this was. And it's just the sheer brilliance, the sheer skill. Lewis Hamilton deservedly on pole. Max Verstappen in second place. Again, another flying lap. And Max Verstappen, I don't know, but I think he would have beat Lewis's time. Because as he gets into the last turn, into turn 10, and he was on a flying lap. He was doing personal bests, and then he saw a yellow flag come up, which kind of distracted him, but they went straight back to a green flag. And then Vettel was just right ahead of him as he was entering the pit lane, Vettel. And then he spun, and then Max spun out. Oh my goodness, it was such heartbreaking times. I was so gutted for Max because I thought this was going to be nip and tuck between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. But nonetheless, Max kept second place because the laps he did beforehand were absolutely flying. There are so many things to talk about. There was so much impressive business to go on about. I need to start back to Q1. Let me get back to Q1. Mate, the lap times in Q1 were changing all the time. You saw Russell on pole at one point. You saw Giovinazzi on pole at another point. You saw Bottas on pole at another point. It kept changing. Everybody was moving up and down like a fruit machine, Martin Brundle said. At the beginning of Q1, the Ferraris came out strong. Vettel very smartly, because, by the way, qualifying was delayed by some time. And then as the lights went green, Sebastian Vettel was the first one out. Clear track. I say clear. Less spray than everybody else because there's no cars in front of him. And for those that were behind him, my God, it was I don't even know what to call it. It was like they were going to Aquasplash. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable conditions. Unreal. The Ferraris did look strong at the start, and you thought, okay, maybe they're going to do better in these conditions. McLaren seemed to be okay. Even the Renaults were getting involved as well. It looked good. Mercedes were starting slow, but they were gradually making their way there. And this is where the brain comes in. And I feel like these teams, the reason why people like Mercedes are six-time world champions in a row is because they know how to manage these conditions. They know how to manage anything that might come their way. They're just thinking things through. Obviously, Q1, I think, is about 15 minutes. Someone's going to correct me. I can't remember how long it was. But you got to pace yourself to get to the max, where at the start, if you saw the first 5 minutes of Q1, you would have thought, yep, Ferrari's looking okay. They're looking like they're not back, but just for horses for courses, they seem to be all right on this occasion, sorry. But then what followed was that they ended up sliding down the table a little bit into the middle areas, like around 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th place, which is not alarming in terms of Q1 because you just want to get into Q2, and so it's not that much of a bigger deal. But I did pay attention to it. I thought there's something about that I just don't want to ignore. So we'll see what happens to them later on. Racing Point, I don't know what happened with them. They struggled all quali sessions, all three of them, all of the sessions. So I don't know what happened. Perez out in Q1. Sergio Perez, the one who was flying in FP2. He was absolutely flying in FP1, came out in Q1. Red flag at the end of Q1 with about 13 seconds to go. Giovinazzi spun off, hit the rear wing, came back onto the track, kept the engine running, but then there was a bit of debris flying everywhere. So at some point, the red flag came out, and that ended Q1. Out of Q1 was Sergio Perez, Antonio Giovinazzi, Romain Grosjean, who didn't even come out because of what happened to him in the very out lap at the beginning of Q1. Oh, Roman, give me something to talk about. Give me something good to talk about, because I want to talk good about Formula 1. I don't want to talk about no negatives, no bad. Nothing bad about Grosjean, all right? Come on. Latifi, unfortunately, he was doing a very good lap. When the red flag came out, unfortunately, he was doing a good lap, which he looks more impressive this weekend. And I think as time goes on, he's going to get better and better in that Williams. Kimi Raikkonen as well, out again for the second week in a row in Q1. Same track. He just doesn't like the track. I'm just convinced. I'm not going to say anything bad about Kimi. He hates Austria. But ladies and gentlemen, the talk of Q1 really... George Russell. Yes! George Russell in the Williams into Q2. Fantastic. He was at one point he was in first place, and at one point I think he finished in 12th in that round. He was doing superb. Big up George Russell. Big up Formula 1. Big up Williams. Oh my God, it's so good to see something happening to Williams. Yes. Get in. Q2. The rain started coming a bit harder. It was getting a bit more tough. The lap times were probably going to defer, get a bit slow, get a bit quick here and there. And there was a moment in the with 3 minutes to go in Q2 where Charles Leclerc and team radio with Ferrari were talking about maybe coming in to get fresher tires and maybe go out again. Leclerc said, nope, I'm staying out, which bold move anyway. Why you wouldn't listen to your team, I don't know. But who would have thought? Q2, Leclerc out in Q2. So last week we had a Ferrari out in 11th place in Q2 in Sebastian Vettel. This week in 11th place, Charles Leclerc. Unreal. What is going on with Ferrari, man? Sort your lives out. Get right. What's going on? What's happened? Lance Stroll, who made it into Q2, but again struggling in Q2. The Racing Point just wasn't giving it the juice. We weren't getting the Pink Panther. We were getting more like a Pepto-Bismol. I don't know what to say. What am I talking about? Who impressed in Q2? Pierre Gasly. This man was on fire in Q2. He's got a point to prove. He is not happy with what happened to him last year, and he's making it clear on the track. The man moved up to P5. P5 he was in Q2. The man was phenomenal throughout the whole qualifying session. I'll get onto Pierre Gasly in the next round. So the ones that were out in Q2, you had Kevin Magnussen out in 15th. Well done to him getting into Q2, to be fair. Big up to Haas. Kvyat in 14th. Lance Stroll in 13th. And the thing is with Stroll, what did I say last time? I said, dude, look after the car. Don't worry. Be patient. Just control the thing and you'll be all right. What happened? In his last lap, when he was going up flying, he was pushing that car to its limit and the car was skidding. It was doing all manner of moving, and I think he could have improved on his time there. And as I'm saying it again, calm down. Calm down, Stroll. Man, that guy. George Russell ends in P12. Look at that. George Russell, the Williams, in 12th. It's a breath of fresh air. It's a breath of fresh air, ladies and gentlemen. And Charles Leclerc, as I said, out. Finished 11th. Woo! Ferrari got some explaining to do. They need to do something. I can't work out what it is. What's the matter with them lot? Out in Q2. Joyce, I want to see Ferrari in the top. I want to see them back at the top. I don't want to see none of this nonsense, okay? Get your stuff sorted. Hungary better be good. That's where the next race is. Hungary better be good, Ferrari. Q3, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, what a blockbuster it was. People pulling out fast lap after fast lap. The tussle between Hamilton and Verstappen really was the one. That was where the story was at. And I hope to see more of this throughout the season. One would put in a fastest lap, then the other one would put on the fastest lap. It was just fantastic. It was unbelievable. It was brilliant. Oh, this is what Formula 1 is about. Esteban Ocon, welcome back to Formula 1, my friend. You were putting in some unbelievable times. He at moments in Q3, he was getting up to third. He was getting up to fourth. He was getting up to fifth. He was doing unbelievable times. He was here to stay, and he really showed up Danny Ricciardo in Q3. He did very, very, very well. Big up to Ocon. You had your own battle with Hamilton and Verstappen, but then also you had a bit of a mix-up with the Renault as well as McLaren, with a bit of Pierre Gasly dashed in there, you know, just a little sprinkle in there. Sebastian Vettel did not impress, finishing 10th. The car sucks. Danny Ricciardo in 9th. Ahead of a Ferrari. That's the plus, I guess, for Renault. 2 cars into Q3 again plus for Renault. You know, they've had a good 2 weekends. Pierre Gasly, top man. He got into 8th place in that AlphaTauri there. Fantastic stuff from him. You never expected an AlphaTauri in the top 8, and Pierre Gasly stuck that car in there. And big up Pierre. I hope you show Red Bull that they made a massive mistake. I hope you do. I hope you do better than Albon. Nothing against Albon, but I just hope you do better than them, because I think he was fantastic. And Red Bull needs to stop doing all these Mickey Mouse trading during seasons. Just let the people drive. Alex Albon, speaking of which, 7th place in the Red Bull. If Gasly got 7th place in the Red Bull, we'll be saying, oh, hang on a minute. Should Gasly keep his chair? Should he not? Keep the driver, keep the seat at Red Bull? Well, guess what? Alex Albon's done that. And he didn't have the greatest of weekends. And the thing, or the greatest of Saturdays, let's say. And the thing is, there were moments in qualifying where he did pull out a good time. He got up to 4th, but it wasn't consistent enough. More time, he was more struggling than anything else. Lando Norris finishing in 6th place. Top man, Lando. Unfortunately, that means you're going back to 9th place. It is what it is. It is what it is, you know. Again, quick, nice, done, handled the car well, brilliant. He feels like, he doesn't feel like a rookie or like a novice or like, you know, he's done more than a year's experience in Formula One. That's what it feels like to me. This guy he's a podium place winner right now. And I can't wait to see what we've got in store for Lando. I hope the McLaren team gets better and better. And I hope the car is there. And I hope Lando stays at McLaren, because I cannot wait to see another Brit win with McLaren. Get in, Lando. Esteban Ocon, 5th, strong, very, very strong indeed. He finished 5th there. Fantastic result for Renault. Esteban is not lying down. Ever since the news of Alonso coming in, he said, look, it's great to have Alonso in there, and you know what, he's going to make sure that I'm going to give Ricciardo a run for his money, so that Fernando Alonso doesn't think when you rock up here it's just going to be plain sailing, because it won't be. That's the sort of aggression I like to see from Esteban Ocon, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it, my friend. Valtteri Bottas, last week's pole sitter, last week's race winner. What's happened? Now the Finn does not feel it in the wet. He's not feeling it. Bottas, you got to think a bit. If the track is dry tomorrow, if the track is dry for the race, then you've got to be at it again, Bottas. We need to see some more aggression from Valtteri Bottas. Carlos Sainz. What's not to like about McLaren? Honestly, what is not to like? What a time to be alive. Carlos Sainz in 3rd place. Fantastic drive. He's managed that. Thing is, one thing I've noticed about Sainz, yeah, I watch him over the weekend and I think, the times ain't showing. Why is he not doing as well as I think he's doing? You know, he's always managing the car. He's looking after the car. He's doing well. And then all of a sudden, towards the end of the sessions, the time comes. It's like, bang, he starts throwing them lap times in. And you're thinking, oh, hello, you've arrived. It's like, no, he was always there, but he was just checking, okay, where can I push this car here? Where can I, where's the best grip for this condition right now? And I think that's what he's just been doing. Feeling the track all the way, so that when it comes to the clutch, mate, when it's clutch time, the man can put it on. And he did. 3rd place in the McLaren. Another McLaren weekend where they're in the top 3 of the start of a race. Fantastic McLaren. Well done. Zach Brown. Steidl. As I said, Max Verstappen 2nd, and I think he could have challenged Lewis a bit more. 2nd place. He won't be too down about it. He might be a little bit disappointed, but mate, he's in the top 2 and he's looking fast, he's looking quick, and so there's nothing to worry about there. Red Bull need to think of another strategy, think of something clever and plan something clever. Let's see what they can get done in this weekend's race. I am so looking forward to it. Hamilton versus Verstappen. Unbelievable. It's Lewis Hamilton, phenomenal drive, as I started with. Unbelievable, perfect times he was doing, and he absolutely smashed qualifying in the end. He was ahead by 1.2 seconds. The man is on fire. Listen, when he has one bad weekend, he comes back, yeah? He comes back with I don't even know what the word is, man. He's pissed. He comes back and he says, no, it is time. Who's talking bad about me? Who's doubting me? And he says, no, I'm turning up. It doesn't matter the condition. And big up to Lewis Hamilton for that. He does his talking on the track. He has a bad weekend and then he just goes away for a week just to sit with himself. It's like he sits in a room by himself and just thinks like, come on, Lewis, I can do this. What the heck's the matter with you? And mate, I'll tell you what, he's answered the critics, if there were any last weekend. He's answered those critics, and man, he looks so fast that I'm not. This might not be good for us tomorrow in terms of entertainment, because he could just go away with this. But Max is fast, so I'm pinning some hope on Max, and let's see how the race goes tomorrow, mate. What a quali it was. FP3 was cancelled. I didn't get to see no practice in the morning, but I got to see qualifying, and boy, did it make up for it. And you think two weekends in the same track, you're thinking, are we going to get the same thing? Oh my days, it's going to be different. I can tell you now, it's not going to be the same as last weekend. So happy days. Who do you think the driver of qualifying was in terms of all three Q sessions? Who do you think was the best? Who do you think you're worried for? Who to look out for? Who's been on the slide where you're like, oh, I've actually missed that person out? Because I might have missed someone out, but the Ocons and the Gaslys, boy, they impressed. So we'll see what will happen. I do think Leclerc might have a good start, because in 11th, I think he's great at overtaking. We'll see what he can do there. But the car's trash. That's the thing that's annoying. The car's whack. My gosh. But yeah, that's the review of qualifying at the Styrian Grand Prix. My goodness, what will the race have to offer? Make sure you share, like, subscribe, click this video here, or even try that video over there. Subscribe to me, please, and that will be brilliant. Until next time, it is lights out.